Charles and I have been looking forward to this one all week, and we are underway from the Superdome. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And a glance here at the vet. He's got a lot of years under his belt in the National Football League.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
Good solid gain on first down, about what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
From the 25, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Breeze to throw. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. But just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at 3rd down, and that's another time to try and go and get the quarterback too.
Hey, let's go.
Yeah, I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Breeze now. The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway. Well, obviously, you never want to fumble, but if you do, good to be towards the sideline. It saves them the possession.
Saves the embarrassment, saves it going down on the play sheet as a turnover, but I still think it should go to the defense, even if they don't recover it. If you give up the football, you gave up the football.
Agree to disagree, I guess. The big fella! A big-time play there for New Orleans. 41 yards.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Quick hitter here, it's complete. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that will bring up 2nd down. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him, and I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
On first down, Breeze. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
And I could see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
Shotgun now for Breeze. And he's got it. touchdown, Saints. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints are on the board first here this afternoon. They got to love that. 9-play drive results in 6 points.
That means they're doing the dictating. That means that they've described how the game's going to go. They're playing at their tempo, at their pace. If you're on the other side of the ball, if you're playing defense, defense is not methodical. They've got to go in there and shake things up and create a little havoc.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This taken in right around the goal line. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. And a glance here at their shifty mobile signal caller.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yards with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Veteran running back like him, we've seen a lot of those chunk carries in his career.
And that's why you don't just look at his birth certificate and decide when a guy is done, right? Because you know as well as I do, in this league, as soon as you hit 30, they're looking to let you go if you're a running back. Sometimes there's a little tread left on the tires.
Now, meanwhile, the throw by Vic incomplete. It was knocked away.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Vic with the incompletion on first down, and now that leads to 2nd and 10. Now a give, right side. Riggs. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, 0 nada there for the offense draws.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no gain.
On 3rd down, Vic. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
The Falcons send out their punter as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. Here's Thomas. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Breeze. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up. The ball is out. Kamara fumbled it, and the Falcons grab it, and he returns it into enemy territory down the 45-yard line. And a little careless there, Charles, on that carry.
And it's not just having two hands on the ball. It's tucking it away. It's using your body to keep people shielded off. It's so many different things into taking care of it and having ball security. In that case, though, we didn't see it happen.
So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down.
They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now Breeze on 3rd down.
Throw out wide is incomplete.
Yeah, it's still early in the game. No sense taking a chance on 3rd down and forcing one into traffic. So I like the wise play he made there. Get it to the sideline out of bounds where no one's going to have a chance at it.
Now the veteran punter for the Saints, Thomas Morstead, on to punt on 4th down. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And Vic's throw there incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Vic with the incompletion on 1st down, and now that leads to 2nd and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Riggs, and he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Third and 4.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
After the false start, sets up a 3rd and 9. Throwing, Vic.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
The Falcons send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Returnable for Thomas. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards.
And they will take over 1st and 10. The New Orleans offense back out and ready to go. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming.
A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it's 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that,
pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
Atlanta prepped and readied for its next possession. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. White, the man in motion.
They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. And this will be a Falcons 1st down as he gets it up past the 35.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now here's Vick. And that is incomplete here.
And he's missed now in his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ball game.
Vick with the incompletion on 1st down, and now that leads to 2nd and 10. Back to throw. His throw incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To throw, Vick. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A big 3rd down pickup of 20 yards. So finally completes his first pass. Credit the defense, though. They've been showing him some different looks, keeping him off balance.
Yeah, I like it. I like the observation that you had there, because when you give him different looks and give any quarterback different looks, It takes just a little bit longer to process sometimes, and you don't throw the ball with the same confidence. You're not sure that that's where you should go with the football. And that's worked for the defense early in this game. And now he's got his first completion. Let's see if his confidence comes back and he starts to get into a nice little groove.
43 yards rushing for him now to this point.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
A gain of 8 on the keeper and a first down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
On 1st and 10, here's Vick. It's caught. This is White. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
On 2nd down now, Riggs. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
3rd and 3.
They'll keep it on the ground. Riggs, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, Falcon football, as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. And the first play will be a field goal try. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. And his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he returns this to the 22. Out onto the field comes New Orleans.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They fake the give. Here's Breeze. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another, because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Throwing now is Breeze. A quick throw, but incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
And this offense on third down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. To throw, it's Breeze. He'll rifle this one deep right side. He's got a man, complete.
Big strides, look at him go.
Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. An even 90 yards as his guys are able to extend their lead. And I think it's safe to say we won't call many touchdown passes longer than that this year, partner.
No, I would agree with that totally. And right now, you're looking at an offensive coordinator. Conservative would not go next to his name. Risk taker, definitely, because he valued the opportunity to create a big play against what could have been disaster if they end up getting sacked or fumbling the ball in the shadow of their own goal line.
The extra point splits the uprights, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
This taken in at the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here.
It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
First down, Vic. He completes it to Julio Jones. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to bring up second down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule.
Vic's throw here into the hands of Jones.
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
While sometimes it doesn't appear like much, the out route can be very dangerous when you throw it to a guy like Julio Jones. If you try and undercut it, he can turn into a big play. But the reason he's able to get it so often is because of his ability to push people deep, and they have to respect that.
Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, it'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll make it second down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd and 3.
Up the middle they go. Riggs, and this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play.
Here now, 3rd and a yard.
They'll keep it on the ground. Riggs, and he's going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield, guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now flags come flying in. One of the Falcons moved early.
Now the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. It's a play fake. Now Vick looks for White, but it's intercepted.
And the Saints are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
The New Orleans offense set to take over. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They run it again with Kamara. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Here now a 3rd down and 8.
Now Breeze.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Second down, and it's Kamara again.
And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And he will have it 1st down here at about the 40. Give him the 3rd down conversion. 5 yards on the play.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Breeze going to throw. And Graham on the ground. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
This offense is looking very comfortable here in this first half. Very relaxed, very smooth, very efficient. No wasted motions. Things are definitely going their way, and they continue to move the ball downfield.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. A 10th carry for Kamara. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. Kamara gets it again on second down.
Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13. So they need 6 yards here on third down. They're 2 for 2 on third down tries so far on this drive. Breeze now to throw. That is caught. And the Saints are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Just keeping the play alive. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
Rockets spin this negatively as he just got back to the line of scrimmage. But when you really analyze it, he took away a big play for the defense, made it an uneventful run because he avoided a sack and didn't lose yardage.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal.
Kamara is into the end zone for a Saints touchdown.
So 3 drives, 3 touchdowns, and they're a PAT from going up 21-3.
And there's no doubt in my mind, you're liking what you're seeing so far, aren't you?
That's unbelievable. Like a well-oiled machine, if you will.
What's really tough, though, that defense, they're leaping the shadows at this point. They don't know which way to go. They're being hit in every direction, and they have no answers thus far.
Point after try forthcoming. And it's 21-3. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
This fielded right at the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
Atlanta now coming out on the field.
And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Here's 2nd and 4 from the 24.
Vick to throw it. And this is going to be incomplete.
But this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete.
And he is going to have a Falcons 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Vick will look to throw on 1st down. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Again, it's Vick.
Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted.
And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans.
And now they start in plus territory following that turnover as they'll try to get some points here before halftime.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Kamara up the middle. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this 1st half. On 2nd down, here's Breeze. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Here's Breeze to throw. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Here's Breeze.
Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
And here you're down in the red zone. You need to be smart, not force anything. So that's a wise decision to just get rid of the football.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. Fights loose. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
49 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the 1st half of play. A chance to really cap off a big 1st half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Breeze now. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
The way he's been slinging it in the 1st half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's going to have to wait to try and pick up that 3rd, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. On play action, it's Breeze.
Toward the pylon, but it's incomplete.
Good coverage yet again down here by the goal line. Everyone's blanketed, and he's forced to throw it away and try and come up with something on 3rd down.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
Shotgun now for Breeze. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. A beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game.
And the Saints are able to add on to their first half lead. And, Charles, they continue to have trouble stopping him as he's into the end zone yet again.
Yeah, that's multiple series now that have ended with him in the end zone. A perfect plan on how to utilize him best when they get in close.
Extra point right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. And the Falcons going to get one more drive here in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
19 seconds showing to play in the half as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Here's Vick. It's complete to his big target, Crumpler. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Let's go.
3rd and 2.
Vick readies to throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half.
They can't read it straight up. It's all right, popcorn. Bring it.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing, Vick. Going up top.
And that's going to be incomplete.
Trying to get something positive to happen here before the break, and they sure need it. They went for the big one, but it winds up incomplete.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. This will be the final play of the half. Vick. He's going to float this one deep right side.
And he had to reach for that one, but can't grab it. It's behind him, and it's incomplete.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in everyone to our downtown Orlando studios in this EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It'll be Falcons football, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. Taken at the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. So we get set to start this third quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Vic now. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Partner, I see you reaching for the white flag. Put it down. I don't want you throwing it, but I understand why, because if you do, you're hoping they might actually stop this game, because we're in blowout territory right now. That interception just surrendered any momentum they built up in the locker room during halftime. So game plan, it's in the garbage. Time to try something new in this one.
Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half.
They had the big halftime lead. Their defense just helped them out further by forcing the turnover, so things are starting to look pretty rosy.
They certainly are, but they've got to be careful about getting complacent, though. They still need to go out and run their offense efficiently.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
So after the INT, it's Breeze.
They'll get this out to Kamara.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. To throw is Breeze. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
2nd and 10.
Breeze to throw again.
On the out route, this ball complete to Graham.
And he's going to be out, down inside the 20 at the 15. 15 yards down to the 15 and a first down.
Now those backups on the sideline, they got to be eagerly anticipating the fourth quarter upcoming. Look at the size of the lead, how they're moving the football. This defense really struggling and giving up plays like we just saw.
Yeah, Stars have certainly done all they've needed to in this one, haven't they? But my question is, will he be able to resist the urge to continue to run things up a bit and get his main guys?
And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. A 15-yard touchdown, Brown.
And the Saints extend their lead yet again. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
Taking it about the 1. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Here's 2nd and 3.
Now here's Vick. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
They'll keep it on the ground. Riggs. Room here to run. And he's going to take this all the way down to the Saints 30.
102 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
From the gun, Vick. Throw caught there by Crumpler. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And it's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Second down, Vick. He's got his man. It's White. And he's brought down in the red zone at the 18 after a gain of 18. 1st and 10.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. That throw by Vick incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
On 3rd down, Vick toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
So out now comes the field goal unit for the Falcons. From the left hash, this from 37. And this one is right through. And that will knock this down to still a very large 29-point deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Atlanta's 11 ready to go, and they kick it away.
On the return, here's Rashid Shaheed. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense.
Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
Breeze now on 1st down.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Breeze will try again on 2nd down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
2 yards still to go. 3rd down now.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile.
And this will wind up a Saints 1st down as he gets this up past the 30 to the 32.
And how about that on 3rd down? So many different directions an offense can go. Throw it out wide to the receivers, get it to their speedy running back. They changed up everything and handed it to the fullback, and he surprised them all and picked up a 1st down.
On the counter, here's Kamara. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
To throw, it's Breeze.
This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down.
I like the call. It looked like the right time to dial up a running back screen. But this one got disrupted right from the start and ends up falling incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Breeze. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead them to 4th down.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return.
And it will be Falcon football. Atlanta regains possession of the football. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
They'll start on the ground here on first down.
111 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Vick will look to throw on first down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
Vick with the incompletion on first down, and now that leads to 2nd and 10. Back to throw. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
But plain and simple, that's the 2nd time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's going to have to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
To throw, Vick. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Breeze now on first down. And Thomas has it. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
From the 20, here's 2nd down and a yard.
Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Breeze. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. First target, first catch, and a first down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Throwing on first down is Breeze. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Now 2nd and 3.
Breeze now to throw. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a first down.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Again, it's Breeze. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
A man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Kamara again. And a nice stiff arm. It opens room to run. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Saints will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
I know I should keep the focus and the spotlight on the hero that just scored, but tackling's been an issue for this defense all game long. I can't set that aside. We just saw it again here. Missed tackles leads to his long touchdown run.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So the drive there took 6 plays. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run.
Pay attention.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return.
And now off to the races down the right side. He's past the 30. He will score. Touchdown, Falcons.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, and if you do, you're taking on some responsibility, but he was happy to do so there.
Extra point attempt here still to come. So they get 1 score back, but still a long ways to go here in this 3rd quarter. And what a job there by all 11 on the kick return. The blocking excellent, the return excellent. The result, 6 points. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
Alvin Kamara and the Saints set to start their next drive. He is hoping to find the end zone for a 3rd time, and we sit now in the 3rd quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
Now a play fake. Breeze. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Here's Breeze. This to Graham on the short pass. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. A give. This is Kamara. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line is executed with.
And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Third and 12.
This is complete to Michael Thomas. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. This will wind up a loss on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
No surprise they decided to throw on 3rd down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
Here's Thomas Morstead now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. Throwing, Vick. And his throw here's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
This offense so far on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Riggs, and he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. So a risky move that does not pay off. And, Charles, you take it from the defensive perspective. They had to be a little offended there that they even tried to go for it back inside their own 20.
Highly offended. And they took the ball away and gave it to their offense in a great situation. But when you look at this thing in total, when you start taking chances like that, you know what that means? You're going to have to take more chances later, right? When you don't convert, that just means you got to double down on it. So we can see.
Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara from 19 yards away. And the Saints have sewn this one up as they add to their lead here in the 4th.
And you wonder now if he might be able to remove the helmet, put on the baseball cap, and watch the rest of this one from the sideline. His 5th touchdown pass of the game.
Say that again. Did you say 5th touchdown pass of the game?
Yes, sir.
But that's a heck of a performance, isn't it? Because they've had no answer for him at all game long. Receivers have been open constantly, and he hasn't missed a single one of them.
Extra point splits the uprights. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
Atlanta now coming out on the field.
But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
First down, Vic. It's complete to his big target, Crumpler. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring up second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Vic on second down. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. That one a first down pickup of 8.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
A first down throw coming for Vic. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's White. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons.
Now, fourth quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Vic goes play action.
Now this one hauled in. Again, it's Hooper.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29.
Now a give right side. Riggs might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. On 3rd down, Riggs, and he'll get this one down to about the 27. We've now seen 3 consecutive 1-yard gains, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Desperation time. Vic on 4th down. He's got his target. That's complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
And with the scoreboard against them here in the 4th quarter, this was definitely 4-down territory. Really nice job there finding a way to get open, and a really nice throw. That sets them up with 1st and goal.
Vic readies to throw.
He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? Here's Vic. Got his man complete over the middle. It's White. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Vic, 3rd and goal. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Falcons get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away.
This taken in at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Set to take over once again. Out comes the Saints offense. But not that any of the points would be needed, but CD, they've got enough time left here. They could definitely score on this drive, maybe even an ensuing drive as well, if they really want to drive home this landslide victory.
Yeah, we're certainly about to see just how aggressive they want to be here down the stretch. And what some coaches do is they try and meet it halfway, meaning they want to continue to run their offense, but they'll put in a lot of backups to do it and then tell the opposing coach, hey, I had to get them some work too. I can't just let them sit over on the sidelines all the time.
And this will wind up a Saints first down as he'll take this up to about the 33-yard line. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Two yards to go, second down.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. He's got another first down, and he's also just a few yards short of 200 for the ball game.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Trying to run down some clock with Kamara. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Second down, and it's Kamara again.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Breeze now. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Well, the Falcons back out, getting set for this next drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Now a dump off here complete, and they'll bring him down right around the 13. Only able to gain a couple there, and that will bring up second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Second down and 8.
Vic to throw it.
Out route, he finds his man. It's Jones.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Vic operating on first down. He'll find Jones again, complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a first down.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column, but as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
It'll be Vic once more. He's got Hooper on the short connection. So the completion good for just 3. And it's second down.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Second and 7.
Play action now, Vic. Throw caught there by Crumpler. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, Tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Offensive line wasn't set. There's the flag, and 5 yards back they go.
Quarterback has to look around and make sure that his team is ready to go. Sometimes the quarterbacks go faster than is necessary.
Still first down.
One last shot for Michael Vick. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
A higher scoring game, Charles, than we typically see in the National Football League. But fun to watch these offenses. They were really clicking. It seemed like everything that they dialed up worked.
Yeah, it certainly was fun to watch from our perspective. How'd you like to be those defensive coaches, though? That wasn't a blast for them at all. And let's face it, they all game plan, they all scout, they all think they're prepared. But executing and stopping teams, that's another matter entirely.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Saints are winners here as we say so long from New Orleans.